Today we're unboxing Frame.io. This video is not sponsored by Frame.io and all opinions expressed are purely my own. I'm Caleb Fortune with Trust Radius, and this first look will evaluate Frame.io by its pricing, compatibility, installation, user interface, resources, support, and reviews. All right, to start off, what is Frame.io? So we're gonna go to trustradius.com and type in Frame.io, hit on listings, go down to product details, and Frame.io in New York offers a video collaboration platform supporting video editing process by providing creative teams with time-stamped comments, annotations, and hashtags, and an accelerated sharing and approval process, as well as integrations with popularly used editing tools like Final Cut Pro or Adobe to enhance the editing and collaboration process. All right, jumping into pricing, let's go to their website, go down to pricing, they have monthly or annually options. Pricing plans start free, so that's up to 2 users with 2 gigabytes of storage, which I'm wondering, I know it was pitched that it was Adobe accounts were free. I'm wondering if they just rolled that to just being a free version, a free account. So the Pro account starts at $15 per user per month on a monthly basis. That's $13 per month on an annual. And that includes up to 10 users, 250 gigabytes plus 500 gigabytes archival storage, 4K ultra playback, password protection, camera to cloud, unlimited projects. So a lot of fun features there. Going over to Team, it is on the monthly side, $25 per user per month. On the annual side is $22 per user per month. And that includes up to 15 users, 500 gigabytes plus 1 terabyte archival storage. This allows for private projects, team-only comments, shared link expiration, and custom branded emails. All right, looking at compatibility, let's jump into what integrations they offer. I'm guessing that's where you can plug this into. We have Creative Cloud, obvious, awesome. Final Cut Pro, Media Composer from Avid, and DaVinci Resolve. So covering all the real major bases for nonlinear editors. Additional connections they also provide through Zapier include Airtable, Asana, ClickUp, Facebook, Google Drive, Monday.com, Salesforce, Trello, and YouTube. So fun, that's great. Camera to cloud hardware includes sound devices, Teradek, Adamus, Viviana Cloud, and Film Databox. So a lot of fun stuff. Ooh, Filmic Pro, that's pretty lovely for all of you iPhone filmmakers. All right, moving into installation. I believe I can just click on sign in, and if I type in my email, awesome. So mine already connected to Adobe. If yours does not, it should have a sign in with Adobe option if you're an Adobe user. So we'll be connecting it to Premiere today to do some tests with some current ongoing projects. What do we got here? Beautiful, awesome. So I did sign into this once before just to make sure like I knew the process, and they do have a big welcome window that pops up. So just so you guys know, that's what you will see. We have a demo project, so this is really fun to be able to get to see the interface a little bit more before attempting to do that extension within Premiere. That was it for installation though. Otherwise, it's browser-based. Obviously, if you go onto the connections part, it could look a little bit different. So I will try to connect it for Premiere really quick just to see what those steps look like. So first up, what you will have to do, and I've actually gone ahead and done this, you want to go over to Stock and Marketplace in the Creative Cloud desktop, go over to Plugins, and you will want to search for Frame.io, boom, and click into that, and you can just click Get and install it. Make sure you close out of any of your editing applications to make sure that it will properly install to them. All right, so for the installation side on your editor of choice, you go to Account at the top, and you're gonna go down to Apps and Integrations. And for this, we just primarily need Premiere Pro. I might also get After Effects. I frequently do motion graphics templates. Clicking that, we go through, oh, it says it's acquired. So if that is all I have to do, you would think I can just jump in and do it, but I haven't seen it show up on my extensions list. I'm wondering if that's just a lack of having the account. Okay, so we're gonna go into my current month of projects. All right, so in theory now, if I go to Window Extensions, no, it's not there. That's so goofy. Okay, Google says to reset to save layout. I reset to save, and I'm gonna reboot Premiere. Let's see if this, so we're still not seeing Frame.io. That is a bit frustrating. Okay, so I did Google, like, it's not showing up, and it brought me to one article from Adobe, and now it just brought me to an article in Frame.io for an alternate installation of the extension. So we're gonna walk through this real quick. We're gonna have to download their suggested one, which is Anastasi's Extension Manager. This is nice that it's like showing me like all the currently installed ones. We're just gonna go to install, go to our downloaded files, and so that should have, in theory, worked. Appears to still not have worked. And try switching to a different layout and like reset to saved. Weird. Okay, so maybe we can, I wonder if we can uninstall it through here. Let's do some other troubleshooting too. Do we have any updates pending? No, we don't actually. Maybe they're conflicting too. Maybe I should have removed it before installing. Still does not work. That is so frustrating. So I've exhausted all methods of installation and now need to confer with their support, which is not very fun. Okay, so I got pushed to a bot and yay. All right, for the purposes of this, we're just gonna move forward with the browser-based section of it for user interface. So visually, I dig it so far. You have obviously large thumbnails, pretty responsive scrubbing for being browser-based. When there's multiple items, it appears differently, so good to know. List view, which gives us some helpful metadata. Awesome. Download all, that's intense. Recently deleted, project settings, leave project, archive project, delete project. So I have used one of their semi-competitors before, Whipster, which I think so far it seems like they're a little bit more on it. They were always a larger like production option for people, whereas Whipster is definitely more of like a freelancer tool. But it seems like Frame.io has expanded into that freelance market as well now. Okay, so this can include presentations, reviewing, interesting. Curious how all that works. Can we do new? I don't know, just folder, private folder, file upload, or folder upload. Let's go through and see. So this is just a video file, a V2 video file. Can we look at the previous version? Okay, publish to Vimeo, publish to Dropbox, share for review, share as presentation. Ooh, change the status, move to private, download as. Ooh, that's really fun to be able to download proxy files. Manage version stack. Oh, version 1 ungraded, version 2 graded. And while doing our user interface, we're also dabbling in support. Abe has just reached out to us. I will say this is just a nitpicky thing. When support asks me a question and then they start typing immediately after, it drives me a little nuts. Wait for the response. You've asked a question. It drives me crazy. And if this is like an automated feature of just like the chat function, that's infuriating. So support was like fairly quick. It was within a few minutes, which initially they were pushing me towards an email. So I'm glad that the chat actually did push me into conversing with a real person. I was a little afraid. So we have video files, video versions, comments, which I'm curious. Ooh, the quick look spacebar. Oh, that's really fun. And then if we click this, ooh, time code frames. I love that they sync it all up. That is fantastic. Little comment section. You can drag it to make a range and say, cut this whole shot out. Cool. Thank you for the guided tour, y'all. I can't scroll anymore. Scrolling has been disabled. Am I crazy right now? What's happening? Let's try and do FLO. Oh, no. What has occurred? My whole screen's busted. Let's refresh. Okay, so that is some kind of coding issue. I had the opportunity to scroll down and it broke it. Anyone who watches this who's on that dev team, I don't know what occurred, but you can probably follow my steps. So you can choose your quality, you can choose guides. Oh, cool, for like switching the mobile version. That's really fun. You can mask it. Oh man, this is pretty wild. That's pretty slick. That's pretty advanced, really. Especially for like marketing teams that like a content manager really focused on mobile can really try to picture this and how they could cut it down. Set a frame as thumbnail, download a still, go through your comments. You can hide your comments, mark complete. Ooh, yeah, so people like drew little areas on here. I'm guessing that's just this. Get rid of that. Yes, peak there. This is my peak design skills. Select the option review. Okay, so they're saying it's under a different tab than it used to be. Oh, review with frame.io. Okay, I was like scouring for frame.io listed under there. So that's actually super helpful. So let's look real quick at what this looks like. So compatibility wise, just so you guys know, all their documentation right now says that it's listed under extensions. It even says that under the Creative Cloud application as well when you're installing it. It is no longer there on the newest version of Premiere. It is under Window and then review with frame.io. Dang, this is pretty slick. I like this a lot. You got subfolders on subfolders. What's the play look like? So it plays in panel. Oh, this is just an image. Let's see what video does. How's video play? Okay, so it's just pretty much like a little iframe inside of Premiere Pro. See, so one note for all of you people using mixers or different audio sources. An issue with this that I discovered immediately is I actually use a one output for my Premiere Pro that's set in the Premiere Pro settings. So if you go like settings, audio hardware, like This is just an output for my mixer. It is not playing on this output. It's playing on the system output, whatever this is set to down here. So interesting would be obnoxious as heck if you're, honestly, if you rely on it. You're doing anything and you have like different audio outputs on your system, because some people use headphones but also have like studio mixers that they want to swap between. And if they have like Premiere set to one that differs from the system settings, oh my God, it would just be so annoying. And that could make someone tear their hair out real quick, especially if the one was disconnected that was the system setting. Well, you can leave comments from there pretty easily. What's the comment view look like is what I want to know. So you can jump into, quick blur this logo, brighten this. Cool, so that's super functional. I like that. You got to reload, so if it's laggy or getting goofy. Notifications, help and support inside of, that feels like Inception support. Gotcha. Download selected items, upload new items, new options. So I'm wondering then if I'm gonna like export this video we're working on right now, can I export it into frame.io? How does that work? No, so it's not showing up as like a native export option. Interesting. So what do I do? Upload active sequence. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, there we go. So best expense software, let's do 720. Let's do whole sequence. Let's do end out, because otherwise we're gonna have a 20-minute clip. Ooh, you can export markers as comments. That's pretty slick. Upload. Launching media encoder to do it. Jumping back to the browser interface, just to go through, we have a top little scroll bar to navigate within that folder. So if you're doing multiple commercials or something for an agency, but they're all different cuts of the same footage or like similar messaging or something on a single campaign, it's easy to swap between them to make sure everything's moving to a finish line. So that's pretty slick. Got like our music track. They're definitely showing it off really well. We have add project, anyone on our team, or you can make it private just to yourself and anyone that you invite. Enable Slack notifications. That's really cool. So I might actually use that, honestly, because we're very heavy in the Slack world, and that'd be really awesome to be able to ping people on a certain project and just shoot those rough drafts immediately to them. That'd be real sweet. Can't download files. A lot of times I like to say no on a project I'm doing, because why would I want them to download something that's not approved yet? I'd rather reshare it with that downloadability, because I don't want different versions to exist out there. I'd rather know that I got what's meant to be used. Email notifications, yeah, I would kill these. Good God. Everyone else's notifications. Nice. You can be nice to them or not nice at all. Probably depends on what kind of person you are, I guess. So this is project settings too. So like a project, I think to a lot of people gets defined differently. Is that a single edit? Or would you make like a project for like quick turnaround projects, a project for a quarter initiative in the corporate world, a project for a movie, or would you make a project for scenes? And it probably depends on delineation of authority. Do you have a supervising editor who's just managing like this set, this like section of scenes essentially, and one team to do it? It might be easier to delineate that out like that and then come back to your overall project. And it just depends on working style too a little bit. Production world, a little bit different. I haven't been in that world in a little while. I'm more on the corporate world right now, obviously. And dealing with like contractors, I think there's like room where this could be super helpful. That way, like I don't have to go in and reconnect stuff. I can have a contractor using frame.io immediately connect it upwards versus managing the same project file too much. Yeah, no, this could be really cool, really slick, and really make the workflow go a lot smoother. But using the free account, you definitely do have to be cognizant of that, and that you will have to delete projects fairly quickly. And probably use proxies, because like this is using up like a gig. Almost. No, yeah, about a gig. Interesting. So you can create links, I'm guessing. Oh, here we go. Share for review. Link access public. Add people specifically. You can add a watermark. Ooh, that's on a different setting, or a different account style. If you're an agency, definitely want to be doing that. Reviewer, allow downloads, no. Allow comments, cool. So that's really fun that you can do more micro adjustments on just an individual shared video. Added that into this guy, and you can just copy your link. And it lets you see if they played it. So that's really one of the most helpful parts, is like if you've shared something with someone 3 weeks ago, you're gonna get to where you're gonna wanna follow up with them like every day. I still see you haven't looked at this. So overall, I feel like we've touched everything visually that really goes on with the interface itself. I feel like I have a good handle on it. It's very like sensible. I am ready to start using this, honestly, for my own purposes. I'm ready to delete this demo project and get rocking. I don't necessarily have a ton of review cycles to really use this for, so I think that 2 gigs is like perfect for me, but for anyone else, you might want to look at that base plan. That is, let's look at it. So yeah, $15 again per month, $25 for a team. Really not that large of a price commitment. And then their enterprise account obviously goes differently. If you're a business all in on video or anything in the journalism industry, like, woo, probably jumping in on enterprise immediately. I wish it closed out media encoder for me because that's annoying that it just pops it up. Hey, got one more app open, using up that juicy memory. All right, so now we have gone through compatibility, installation, user interface. We got to jump over to resources. One piece of resources is their help, which in the past I've said I don't necessarily love it when they kind of conflate resources and support. So they give this like option of basically searching articles. So the articles exist somewhere. Now let's find where they are. I'm sure that it's just like a resources tab on frame.io. Not at the top, but maybe at the bottom of their very fancy, it looks like Apple-inspired interactive website. All right, so support. Yeah, it looks like, I'm guessing this is gonna be it. Yes, okay. So their support.frame.io, which is gonna be their resources of sorts. Okay, so this includes, awesome, some base level walkthroughs and tutorials, 12 articles, cool. I like that they like let you see who's done the articles, like how many there are. Yeah, I like how they've organized these resources. I'm curious what type of resources we're seeing. So is this a blog? So it looks like this is like a written and video supported content. I wonder if that's every single one of them, if they've gone that pretty. No, okay, cool. So it's a mix of video and text. And we saw that walkthrough the first time we go into like the editor also. So they have a little bit of guided walkthrough as well as video, as well as text. So they're checking all the box for me when it comes to the resources side. I still don't love that they conflate resources and support, like with the help button. That to me says I'm looking for you to help me. I'm not looking to help myself. Again, just that distinction that I see. And we know obviously, because we've seen video already, I wanted to check their YouTube channel out to see if they're using YouTube as a support angle as well, and they are. So they're doing a ton of content. They have their case studies, but they have tip of the weeks, which are actually like real walkthroughs of the product. How to add a team member, collaborator, create a project, do media. Awesome. Love that you guys are doing that. Your video also, I like that you know and understand you work in the video world. Your video needs to be top notch. Your thumbnails need to be on point. So like everything is beautiful. Moving on to support, we obviously already had a little bit of an interaction to resolve our compatibility installation side for an extension. And that was just through like their chat built in, which obviously I still don't love. I'm gonna mention it a million times. Do not love it when it pushes blog articles at you when you're trying to talk to someone. I've seen it worse. I've seen it like 4 layers before having to get in. And this was just 2 layers, I think, of bot interaction before I could get to where I wanted to go. They should have done text earlier. Text should have just been the starting point. So I will say speed-wise, it was pretty quick, not the fastest, obviously. We've seen 15 seconds, so that's gonna be a bar not many can reach. But within 5 minutes, we were talking to a real human, getting a resolution. I really hope they update that documentation across the board, because that, yeah, broke my brain. And I like to think I'm smart sometimes, but obviously I didn't see that frame.io was still written there somewhere. So not without flaws, and I'm sure other people are missing it. That is prompting us, I'm guessing, support at frame.io. Yes, okay. So they want to push you to email support at frame.io. So I'm guessing that all like pools into the same thing. I would love to see a little bit more variation of like support options. I would love to see a phone number, but I know it makes sense that they don't offer it up, but support options are there fairly quick. Yeah, seem knowledgeable. Pretty quickly understood the issue and resolved it. All right, now looking at reviews, frame.io on Trust Radius carries an 8.9 out of 10 at the moment we're talking right now for a TR score. And this will most likely fluctuate as our scores usually do. Looking at our reviews, we have 21 reviews. So those must be fairly recent then, I'm guessing, to have that good of a score. We have someone in a broadcast company, 1 to 10 employees, giving an 8 out of 10, loving the file structure, commenting, project management. They do not love the stack multiple versions of videos, which, I don't know, I actually just obviously looking at it enjoyed how it does it. I probably wouldn't like it if it's still using it, counting against your space on multiple versions, but I would love it if it was almost like Google Drive, where you have like a desktop like version of the file so you can like interact with it that method too inside of Explorer. That'd be really cool. Or Finder on you Apple users. A sleek look and simple digital asset management and collaboration tool. All you need for digital assets. Senior video production and digital media manager. Loves it. Organization, presentation, review pages, copy presentation settings from last created presentation. Ooh, yeah. So it sounds like they just need to fine tune a little bit of that. Amazing tool, 10 out of 10. Why we are so glad we switched. What were they using before? Oh, doing wedding films. That's good. For on semi-freelancer side, it sounds like more from a company, but most effective video review right in your pocket. Pricing structure is quite limiting. 100 gigs of uploads is hardly enough for a whole team who regularly produce video. You could argue that you're supposed to be going up then. Yeah, I would think at that point, maybe making individual accounts, but obviously it gets hard on the collaboration side. So across Trust Radius, sentiment is great. They're loving the tool. I wanted to get just like a random other source with semi-cloud, or at least saying use case of cloud. This has a review for after a year of use. This sounds like it was a little bit of an older review from like 2018 before acquisition. From my understanding, the product hasn't changed a ton since that acquisition, but they really enjoyed the tool. It gave them a lot of efficiencies. It pretty much became a staple of their workflow. All right, so let's jump into our final scoring. Starting out, we got pricing, and honestly, I'm gonna give them a thumbs up. It was solid plans. I think it makes sense. Obviously, we saw some reviewers having some issues with delineation and wanting maybe like one more plan between pro and teams. I don't even know what enterprise looks like. Obviously, you need to get a custom quote for that, but the fact that free version exists for freelancers, I think is phenomenal. The tool is, from my experience working with a different tool, it makes more sense. It already is more responsive, and yeah, just a lot slicker. It works really well. It works in a very logical fashion, and I think the price is fair and reflects that. Looking at compatibility, we're working across every major nonlinear editor that you could possibly desire. I'm sorry if you are using a different editor that was recommended to you from a TikTok that you should not have watched, but this is working across industry standard editors, and those probably wouldn't work that great anyways. In that case, I would honestly just say use the browser base if that's really like a contention for you. But compatibility, it's working great. It has Zapier connections as well. The Slack integration, like just directly in, is phenomenal for the corporate world. So awesome. We're gonna give them a thumbs up for compatibility. Installation. This one's frustrating. Obviously, browser-wise, it connects immediately to my Adobe account, which is great. If I'm not on Adobe, just make your account. Lovely. If I ran into issues using their own platform, like the mothership platform, I have to assume people have hit issues using the other ones. Your Final Cuts, your DaVinci Resolves, yeah, your Media Composers. So this is gonna be real contentious, and honestly, it'll be fixed if they can fix their documentation, because they have specific articles addressing this and still throwing you down to the same location. And if it's not there, do this. If it's not there, do this. Never saying, hey, we updated it and it's in a completely different spot now. I'm gonna give them a thumbs down for installation. They need to correct that. Gotta fix it, sorry, my bad. Moving on to user interface. It is slick. It looks great aesthetically. It functions great. It does logical things, which is fantastic. Top bar, bottom bar. I think the bad parts are that scroll thing where it like broke it and you have to like reload. So just a forewarning to any users out there, if you get locked in some weird spacing, just Control R or open Apple R, reload that page, you should be Gucci. On the Premiere side, that was a little weirder though. When I ran into the scroll with the export window, I thought if I resized it would do it, but nope, it just kept going down. So that is definitely 100% on some way and how that panel's sitting in there. There's some coding to how that page sits that is breaking it a little bit, and that does need to get addressed, get fixed, because that could get very obnoxious. Obviously, I got my clip out and that worked, but yeah, I would like to see that corrected. But given everything else, I will be giving user interface a thumbs up. Moving on to resources. They provide guided walkthroughs and initial setup. They provide videos across YouTube as well as through their own documentation and resource center. They do conflate resources and support a bit. You really should segment those out. You have to think of what the purpose of each of those are, and that way people are better self-selecting. Acknowledge that and correct that. But otherwise, I will be giving resources a thumbs up. They cross the gamut on every media that you could possibly provide. So fantastic. Support. They have chat, which is great. They have email. Would love to see more options out there. I think having a phone available, having just different support options available would be great. Moreover, just having the chat be pushing blog posts, I do not like that. And I don't even necessarily mind if you push blogs, but push like being able to ask for a rep immediately. Don't try to like pre-solve a problem and walk me through multiple stages and then, okay, I guess we'll let you talk to someone because you annoyed us. Let it do it right away. So I'm going to be giving a thumbs down for support just because of that issue, honestly, and it needs addressed. And I think that should be an industry standard thing at this point. That is my expectations as a consumer. And looking at reviews, overall, this is positive across the board. Phenomenal reputation online across every other website. Users love the tool. Even if they don't like small things in there, I think they know that like Adobe is not one to usually sit on products. I'm just saying rip out there for their script writing software, but general products that are used by a lot of users get good updates, get frequent updates, and get to see positive changes happen. So we'll be giving them a thumbs up for reviews. Now looking at our final score, can we recommend Frame.io? Yeah, easily, 100%. No, it's a great tool. It's phenomenal. It does what it needs to do. It functions fairly logically. Any of the little bugs and hiccups you can get past pretty easily. I will say the previous system that I used, I ran into way more bugs than I did doing this. Yeah, Frame.io is simple and effective. It works. If you feel differently, let us know about it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe for more, and head over to trustradius.com for detailed reviews, comparisons, and software alternatives.